Okay, I don't need headphones anymore.
Are you sure?
You can listen to it then. You can hear everything. Though.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw it.
Now your turn. Yay. Okay, this is it. This is a podcast.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we've actually been recording for like 3 minutes now.
Good.
Welcome, everybody, to our first ever,
You'll
if
wanna
you care,
include this.
Mind Your Own Small Business, an entrepreneur podcast.
Yeah, I made that.
How did you make?
Yeah, technically.
How did you make that?
I made 50% of that and had an AI make the other half.
You know what? Let's start there.
You want to go with AI? I wanted this one to be our origin stories, though.
like superheroes.
Yeah.
All right.
So everyone knows,
Yeah.
like, why are we not working for the man?
My father abandoned me when I was young.
Oh.
I landed in a spaceship. I have an affinity to green jewels.
And you were bitten by a radioactive entrepreneur?
Yes. His name was Bill.
This Bill character.
Gates or Clinton?
Oh.
Definitely Gates.
I read somewhere he's dating somebody now.
Gates?
Yeah. Apparently, lizard people date people. It's crazy.
Well, was it last year or the year before last that his wife left him?
It was whenever she found out that he was in cahoots with didn't kill himself Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Was that it? I just remember a lot of stuff came out about him like doing, I don't know.
Yeah, but did you see there was an interview that he had that was with someone and they kept pressing him on his, like, hey, so Epstein, he's like, I regret that I went to dinner with him one time. And they're like, well, no, but really, like, you knew, and he's like, that was a regret. That's like it.
I regret everything.
I regret all things.
I regret going out to dinner. He was a seedy character. It's like, isn't your name on this? No more questions.
Moving on.
All right, so your origin story.
My origin story.
Yeah.
So mine, I was thinking about this because I wanted this to be the subject of our first podcast. Kind of say why we're entrepreneurs rather than just regular 9 to 5 punch in, punch out. And I've realized that the reason why I don't work for someone is because I can't keep a regular job. No, but so like all through high school, I worked like retail. I worked at McDonald's, and then I went to college. Came back. I did summer sales, and then I graduated in video production, and I worked for a small video editing firm. You guys remember? Did some photography for you guys. And then my wife was like, I want something more steady with like a 401k and insurance. And so
She left you.
Overrated.
No, I'm just
I
kidding.
left my job and then started working for a place called I don't know. I worked for an ISP.
Oh, yeah. We're not sponsored yet.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I want them associated because I don't know if I have the best things to say about them.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
you should bleep it out.
I'm 100% going to bleep that out.
Absolutely.
Absolutely bleep it.
So I worked for an ISP internet service provider for 3-4
you go.
years. And after that, like I was sales and customer service, which is kind of a you having fun there.
I'm realizing that every time we move, it kind of shakes the table and the microphone. So like I like jiggle and
Well,
just
It helps to have body mass because then you don't feel those kind of things. It just gets absorbed into the.
And all of the microphones have shock mounts, so
You know,
it's okay.
It also helps not to have body mass because
Said no one ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Doctors are like, yeah.
why are you an entrepreneur? Because I have no body mass.
So worked for them. Worked for another small business that was they did online sales and a wholesale. They did lawn art. That business got rid of my position because shipping costs and other reasons. They're like, yeah, like this isn't gonna work for us. So let me go. And I was like, I'm just gonna work for myself. Like I'm done with this. Went on employment for 2 months. Started an Etsy store. Started selling stuff at local farmers markets, and now we're on track to break 6 figures this year. Gross, but that's insane.
Congratulations.
Like-
I think that is, again, those just tuning in, I've never wanted this to sound patronizing, but I think that is incredible that you guys are able to achieve that amount of quote unquote success that fast.
And so we do a bunch of stuff, and one of our things is an Easter product, and so we'll be really busy up until April. But then once that hits, it's going to slow down a lot. But we're hoping we sell. You can't really see it, but there's a dice here. We sell those, and those are doing.
Nobody can see it. Doesn't
No,
exist.
it's
No, it doesn't exist. Oh, look at that! It does exist.
so.
I want to. So give us a time frame though.
Yeah, I
Like
think
because
that's
you said, oh, and then I quit my job, and then now we're up to 6 figures. And for anyone not knowing, thinks that it could have taken you 7 years to get to this point, but it wasn't.
It was 1 year this month.
Oh, you're on your anniversary.
Yeah, I got fired.
That's more important than your wedding anniversary.
I got let go. I didn't get fired because I could apply for unemployment. I asked them like, did I get fired or did you lay me off? Like, oh, we laid you off. I was like, okay. So it wasn't that they didn't like me or I wasn't showing up to work on time. It was anyway, that.
But those things were also a factor.
Yeah, totally. I
That's why we fire people.
irregular sleep schedules is another reason.
That's true.
But yeah, so yeah, and now I do mostly online sales, Etsy. We do very little Amazon, but it's mostly online stores on Etsy. I want to launch my own, but
Well,
website.
it took you a while though. Like you started with trying different products. You had your sunglasses, and that kind of was like, oh, that's not really
Keyboards.
the keyboards.
Keywords were before that. That actually reminds me of another thing I wanted to bring up.
Easy Bert.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
No, so I'm running a successful.
Whoa, hang on. You're
Not
running.
this kind of podcast.
This is not that kind of podcast.
I'm running a successful.
What is cassettes? I'm not exactly sure.
Successful? I don't know.
I'm
That's
not sure
me
what that is. I know what
floating
I know what a
words.
cassette is.
That's later on in the book. It starts with a K and an S. It's at the end of the book.
Okay, is that like I remember cassettes? You put those in, and it's like ASMR cassettes. Is that what that is?
No.
Horizontal coitus.
So I'm running a good Etsy business now. I'm going to power through this. And the thing is that now
she said.
all of these people are asking me, how do I start an Etsy store? And I'm like, I don't know. You just do it. Like we launch products, like probably 1 or 2 products each month, just to kind of see how it works. And then if they work, we keep them. And if they don't, then we
Still
let
keep them.
Yeah, because it only costs 20 cents. And so that way it gives people more stuff to look through. And then people are like, yeah, my husband doesn't really like his job. And so we're thinking about starting an Etsy business. Do you have any advice for us? And I'm like, I have no idea. And that just reminds me that literally like 2 years ago, I was doing that, or I did that to you guys many times. How do you guys start an Amazon store? Does that get really annoying?
So annoying.
And were you annoyed at me when I asked you that like many times?
No, it's different with your friends and the people that you kind of have this relationship with. But
Anthony's giving like a half lie, maybe like 20%.
Okay.
Because with your friends, you do. There's sometimes, and you're just like, but really, it comes down to the whole like, oh, I just want to. Well, we hear about. Well, I just want to do something that'll just make me.
I just need something that'll make me like $3,000 a month. That's all I need.
Can I do that? We're just selling shirts out of my like, I don't know, that I bought on like thrift store.
And like people coming into it don't realize, like you experienced, that finding a product, your first product that you launch and it's a home run, is extremely rare. It's
But the thing is that like I've been trying to launch products on and off for 5 years.
right.
And it wasn't until I found a place that worked and a product that worked and I stumbled into the stuff that works for me because I laser cut most of my stuff. And just watching you poke your mic is so freaking distracting.
I am definitely the I don't know, ADHD in me kind of comes out because I'm like,
Man,
look at all these things.
there's
I haven't
no
seen
H
this
in it.
stuff
It's
yet.
ADD.
I'm just like trying. No, because the H is the hyperactivity version.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one.
But
Can you have both?
ADHD?
And ADD?
Yeah, attention deficit, high definition.
you can either have standard definition or high definition ADD.
Mine's the high definition because I'm also a successful entrepreneur. So I'm like I can't focus, but I'm in 4K. So
No, that's ADUD. Ultra.
Ultra deficiency.
So okay, that other. You keep on interrupting me. I don't even remember what we're talking about. Oh, I was talking about how I fell into laser
It's all right.
stuff.
Neither do the listeners. So like, what?
I fell into laser stuff because I needed to custom engrave wallets because I was selling these wallets, which my listing got taken down because someone in the UK says that they own the patent on it, but that's neither here nor there. But now 80% of the stuff we do is laser cut. It's all laser cut wood. And if I hadn't have been just continually trying new things, I would have never found the piece that worked. So mine's kind of a shotgun approach if you just constantly change what you're doing until you find magic sauce. I don't know what it is. But how many do you guys have a running dialogue in your head? Or is that just me?
A running dialogue?
Yeah, like you're always talking or thinking.
No.
I knew a tree once that I hit with an axe and it died a log.
Interesting. I told my wife that I have that, and she's like, that sounds exhausting. And then later she came to me and she's like, that's a symptom of ADD, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by running dialogue. Just
So that you're always thinking about something.
Can you think and listen to somebody at the same time?
Yeah, because I'm always thinking about something.
No.
Whether it's listening to your response and trying to find the memory to what best correlates with what you're talking about that time, or thinking about what I need to go pick up on the way home from the grocery store. Like there's something
my
always running in the back of my head.
No, definitely don't.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. Not you,
No,
Anthony. No,
hard pass there.
Anthony's brain doesn't operate, I guess, that way. Because we're like when it comes to me, it's like there's definitely you got to turn down my mic. 'Cause
turn
that's
him down.
Yeah, you're
talking
peeking
too much.
just a little bit.
Oh yeah, well there we go. See, it's because it's jiggly. I gotta not make it.
You just
But
can't
no,
touch it.
Should I not touch it?
Don't touch the
Does
big
it need to go
black
up like
thing.
this? Oh, I'm unscrewing it now. Oh
It's-
my gosh,
it's
I'm
fine.
breaking this up.
No, I need to tighten these down better, but you can't tighten it because this rotates, and so to try to tighten it, it just spins and it's
And then you're thinking about what you're gonna get at the grocery store. And
yeah.
Then you just kind of meander off into the sunset. No, that's why I can't. I mean, that's why generally sometimes I can't sleep.
Yeah, me too. So I actually had a doctor eventually give me something that like essentially the best way to put it, like turns down the volume in my head. So like when I'm in like a stressful situation, it kind of kicks it into
Does it also
overdrive.
make your heart hurt?
No, that's
it's
something
different.
else, and they don't really know what.
We're
it
not
is.
going to go down that road right now.
Yeah, that's future episodes. Anyways,
Vaccinations.
What was the statistic? How many podcasts do we have to last to overcome the
20.
20?
20 and we're in the 99th percentile.
The only people that are gonna watch this first one are the diehard fans. Go you guys.
people we're related to.
That have come back. They saw us on episode like 13 or 14 and said,
Oh,
want to see.
true.
I want to see how they started.
I want to watch the origin stories.
Right.
Which I'm the only one who said so far. So.
Well,
'cause you haven't
keep
asked
talking.
us. Yeah, you just keep
well,
going.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Your dialogue is just,
Always going.
constipation of the
yeah.
brain, diarrhea of the mouth. Just kind of, what?
Okay.
So do we Rochambeau to see who goes next?
I mean, if you want to.
I don't understand what Rochambeau means.
What?
Are we talking about like,
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rochambeau.
Come on.
nope.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, I know rock, paper, scissors, but I've never heard it called Rochambeau.
Well, it's not Rochambeau.
Because I'm not French.
Rochambeau.
I don't even know what language Rochambeau is.
I don't either. French would
Isn't that
make
where we
sense.
dropped a bomb in World War II? No different city? Okay.
Please, and we're gonna have so many like.
Infographic.
There's
pop
gonna
up.
be like CDC information. There's gonna be.
Oh.
My
Well,
goodness.
I was, after he just yelled, he's like, vaccines. I was like, okay, so we have ADD and he's got Tourette's apparently, just yelling.
I hope this will offend somebody, but I really want Tourette's. I think that would be awesome
Oh my goodness.
to be able to say something.
Okay, let me just say this. This is also gonna make people hate me. Just watch TikTok long enough, and you'll develop some sort of mental disorder.
It's true.
Oh. Yeah. I think-
Oh my goodness! If you want to go down a rabbit hole, watch videos about how the epidemic of mental disorders has increased with the rise of that app.
Oh my gosh.
That is insane.
I bet it's fascinating.
It is. So apparently, if you have a developing mind and someone says, hey, if you have these symptoms, you have this disease, you'll start manifesting the symptoms because you think you have the disease.
Gone down that.
And then if
Not like personally, but I've read that same thing.
yeah, and then apparently if you go through therapy, most people can get rid of those things within like 6 months, as long as they cut themselves off from the like social group that's pushing that idea on them. But what made you start working for yourself?
Oh, well, I guess I lost.
No, yeah, the Rochambeau.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no, it's all right.
Rochambeau.
It's all right. No, I've Rochambeau.
Well, our stories are our stories are a little similar. So, mine's a long story as well, and very interesting. I didn't do the traditional school route. I went to school for the length that one would go to be a doctor, but graduated with less degrees than that.
So you went with the Tommy Boy route.
I did the Tommy Boy route, which actually I watched that clip the other day and found out that I actually went to school 2 years longer than what he says in that clip, and I've been saying it wrong this whole time. So that's fun.
That is
No,
hilarious.
I went to school for communications. The goal was to get in, get out fast. No, and
Are we? I thought we were trying to like not say things like that's what she said.
that's not what I was doing.
I don't know what you were doing, but that
It was that,
worked great.
but I didn't want to be on the hook for it. Like
Okay.
proof that I am engaging you to say those things. So.
Okay, so you're
But when
you're
I
an
do
enabler.
this, we'll get a Michael Scott clip. Probably not.
Maybe, I don't know. It's
Yeah, who knows? No, anyway, so I went to college. The first time was working at a movie theater and call center, and didn't like school. I have this interesting thing where I like to work instead of do school, and so I was working, and school was boring and it was too hard. And so I said, I'm not going to go to school anymore. So I dropped out of school so I could work. And it seemed like that was a justifiable reason because, be the American dream of I'm going to support myself and my family. And then, so I did that for a few years. Went to various other jobs. Ended up going back to school once I had, we had our first child by then. And we were pregnant with our second. And I thought, I need to go back to school. So I went back to school at 30. And the university that I went to, the entry-level classes, the catalog year expires every 7 years. And so from the time that I went back to school, from the time that I started, had 7 years had passed. And so I had to retake all of those entry-level classes. And so I was a 31-year-old because I went to school 30, 31, had to go back and do all these entry-level classes. And so I was 31 years old with these 17, 18-year-olds, and it was awful. Straight up awful.
also those 100 level classes are like specifically designed just to be a nightmare in order to try to scare people off from like the degree. And like that's just like what I've heard from other people and also what I experienced. They're
Which
just
is frustrating because I wasn't going to be a scientist, but I had to take a lot of science.
That was me in kindergarten. They were like, they're just trying to scare me off.
And they did.
Bonnie chased me around the playground.
Her name wasn't Bonnie.
Her name was Bonnie. I remember her face. It's kind of a nightmare. It was just the kindergarten
Her
playground.
face was a nightmare, or the experience was a nightmare?
We'll call it the experience.
She's going to be your number one hated fan on here.
Bring it on.
My number one scarred memory from elementary school was a girl named Quanisha need me in the nuts on the bus. And I don't even remember why. I just remember like she just grabbed me by the shoulders, just full on, and then left. And I was like, what the heck just happened?
What was her name?
Quanisha? I'm not going to say anything else about her.
Wow.
I'm sure she's a lovely woman now, but
But at the time,
that scarred me.
like literally or just like emotionally?
Just emotionally.
Anyway, so I finished school, needed an internship. there was a friend of my wife's whose husband was doing his own thing. He was selling recording equipment that's small and pen-shaped.
So wait, were you doing the internship when I was doing my internship?
Wow. When did you do your internship?
When I was down the hallway from you and that guy in
Oh.
the business development center, or did you move past internship at that
I
point?
had moved past internship at that point, but that was the reason that I was there.
How long ago was that before?
A while. I went back to school in 2013.
Huh. Trying to think. We were at school at the same time.
This is
I was
how
a-
old people tell stories. They
Yeah,
have to
this
go. All the specifics
I
have
was
to be correct.
I was 9 to 16.
What happened?
The screen just went off.
That's it. I have to edit now.
Well, it's still getting the video. It's just the audio. The video is just gone, and we still have the side screens. Let me see if I can figure out what's going
The
on.
side screens is all I'm looking at anyway. So
So you keep on talking.
All right. So I did that, and I didn't know much of any entrepreneurialism at that point. I just knew that I didn't like working for other companies because I just didn't like how there was like this mindset or this goal that it was you have to have, and not all companies are this way, but this one in particular was you have to have this bottom 10%, then you have this middle 70%, and then you have this top 70 and 10 is 80 20. So then you have this top 20.
that was part of the 100 level classes that scared you away.
Yes.
Okay.
Math 100B. I did take it. So with Troy. Troy, if you're out there, I would really like to reconnect. That was a lot of fun. No, but I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that people had to be put in these categories, even though that if they were rightfully there, then that's one thing. But to have to put somebody in the bottom 10% just because you have to find somebody to be in the bottom 10, I thought was asinine. So I always had this idea that I wanted to do my own thing or work for something smaller. And at this, the company I started with, it was definitely that. It was just me and the owner at that time. I found that I had a knack for it. I was able to grow his business well. And we brought on more people. I think we got up to 6 or 7 employees while I was there. Mm-hmm. Learned a lot. Had to fire some people. That was awful for the later episode.
It's a good story.
Yeah, it's definitely a story.
I know that
Yeah,
story.
That story's gonna come to light. So
The names
hopefully-
and likenesses will be changed.
Yes. But that's where I knew. That's where I.
except this episode, we're just like throwing Bonnie under the bus and whoever your person was.
but we've kept other
There's no last
names
name.
out. Yeah.
Um,
We haven't even said what state we're in, so
That's true. Montana. No.
We're the Blooms.
And that's
maybe
where
China.
I met Thomas. Was at this place, and then from there I was lured away by making more money at doing life insurance. And God bless the people that can do that, because that's not for me. So I left that and went to work for Thomas.
That's me.
At the time, I was doing prep work, which was very menial.
you started working for him as a prepper.
I did.
Did you not know that?
I thought you pulled him on to like do your accounting stuff right off the bat.
Oh no. We were really broke at the time. So basically, am I cool to jump in?
Yes,
Okay.
I think our stories merge now.
Yeah, this is so. I found Anthony. He was peddling single half burnt cigarettes on the side of the road, and I felt compassion because if he was selling life insurance and then he got mad at it, he's like, "Well, I'll just give everyone cigarettes and stick it to the industry." That didn't happen. So, no, I was very impressed with what he did for unnamed company, for unnamed person. And so when he left life insurance, I said, hey, I need some help with some of the prep. And the prep work was basically this. Essentially, you would have the shoes would come in, and we needed some quality control. Sometimes they needed to be rebagged, repacked, stickered, labeled,
So
whatever.
just real quick, he sells shower sandals.
Shoes, yeah.
Shoes, sandals, all of that jazz. You just
Yeah, you don't have my organs. You don't have my organ story yet.
my Oregon story.
My Oregon story. How I got trapped in Portland. That didn't happen.
Jazz. No, that's Seattle.
So yeah, there was a lot of. So we were processing a lot of these shoes and selling them on Amazon, and so I said, look, Anthony, I'd love to have you along to do what we're doing, but I can't afford you. So here's a goal to hit. Will you help me grow the company? And,
That was in November.
That was in November. And then of 2015, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, that was when we launched another brand, Kyback. But we're allowed to say my own brands.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, I didn't know if we're like.
By the way, this would be a good time to say that this podcast is being brought to you by amb1.com.
ANB1.com. Link in the description. What do you sell on AB1.com?
Nothing right now, but
Oh.
hopefully by the time this airs, something.
Or you can buy your laser cut stuff or floating D20
Hey,
at
this is mine now.
thackerayfactory.store.etsy.com.
That's called a subdomain. We should fix that.
Yeah, I don't have an actual domain yet. I just sell everything
Very
off of Etsy.
easy. We create your .com and then just forward it over to your Etsy shop.
I actually
$12.
totally side note when I was creating the affiliate link, I realized I was like, you don't have a website that we can fix that. Obviously, we can put you in, but you need one.
I know. Other side note, I want to create one specifically to sell the wallets, and we just hawk the wallets using this podcast.
Oh, interesting.
Because I have 1,600 wallets in my basement that I can't sell now.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna hawk them on Amazon, so we get paid twice.
Okay, you do that.
But you're gonna sell them on Amazon, then resell them again on.
Yeah.
Just con the whole world.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. The thing is that we have to get a barcode though if we sell them on Amazon.
Well, you have one.
I don't have a barcode.
You bought like 8 of them from me.
Did I?
Yes, the knives and the.
Oh yeah.
Entrepreneurship is all about spending money you don't realize you're spending.
Also, the wallets are listed under the custom section with no
but the
barcode.
customers don't need the barcode. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: I want to get out customizing those wallets because it's a nightmare.
Well, you're going to be out of wallets, period. So
I know.
whether or not you customize them or not.
I would prefer not to though.
We can customize them all with that logo
Yeah, just put that on.
that he kind of created, but actually
No,
not really.
I did. I commissioned the AI to make it for me.
Okay, then let me ask you this: how come that one doesn't have a cord on it?
And why does that one have 2?
Yeah.
I don't know, because AIs are dumb.
They're
No,
actually-
Why is entrepreneur spelled wrong?
I hope it's not.
It's not. All right, I'm sorry, Thomas.
It's okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and I still spell entrepreneur wrong half the time. No. Anyway, so then I said, hey, I gotta hit this goal. Coming back. He's down there. He's working for me, and this was in the shopfest. The shopfest was this 1,200 square foot shop that I had built on my property where I live, and I said, hey, we're trying to increase sales, particularly on Amazon as far as that channel goes, and he goes, okay.
I knew Amazon. I know
did.
Amazon.
Him and Amazon, they go out, watch football games together.
Fondles.
You said fondue's wrong. That's fine. Dip some chocolate. So so he comes to me and he took a 6-month worth of inventory and was able to increase our sales and get rid of it in 3 months. So then he comes to me and he goes, hey, so how quickly does it take for us to get inventory? And where he came from, they all got flown in, and that's not what we did. We boated everything in, so it was like a 60 to 90 day lead time, depending. And he was used to like a 14-day lead time.
Yeah.
And I said, about 60 days, and he goes, oh no, we're in trouble. And anyway, so then from that point on, once he really proved what he could do, we brought him on as a partner. So he is a part owner of what I do, which I will tell more, I guess, about that later. But Do you want to keep going as far as other branches
Yeah,
that you've done?
let me just finish my
Yeah, go for
my
it.
thing real quick. So I've been working with Thomas here at Brewster Distributing since 2015. So this will be year 8, believe it or not. That's crazy to me.
That is so crazy.
And then I had launched my own LLC, partly because one of the jobs I was getting paid as a subcontractor, and so I wanted to funnel it through. And then in, let's see, what's Boo Bear? 6-ish years ago, I decided that I was going to start doing my own selling things. I started with apples because my family owns an apple farm, and so every fall I'd bring back fruit and sell. And then from there, it just kept growing and growing, and now I sell a variety of things. Mismatch, I don't really have a brand yet of a sellable product, but now I kind of just sell whatever I can get my hands on and turn it around for hopefully a profit. So,
Arbitrage.
yeah, I've been doing that since for the last 6 years. Last year was my biggest year. I did just a little over 6 figures. So
Nice.
Arbitrage.
Dude, this is the crazy thing to me. I was doing the math on it. So to break 6 figures, it's $300 a day.
that's true. It is.
It's that little, and that blows my mind because that means that most people like make less than I think it's like $100 a day or like
No,
150.
that's $300 a calendar day.
Yeah,
You have
every
to take it
single
in
day,
a
every
calendar
single day. But yeah, I remember when I was working full time and I was making $200 a day. I was really happy with myself.
$200 a working day.
Yeah, so I made $200 a 5-day working week, and like I thought I was living on cloud 9, and now I'm averaging between $100 and $300 every single day, and like that blows my mind. I'm gonna weird flex. Warren Buffett says that unless you find a way to make money in your sleep, you'll have to work the rest of your life. And like I didn't realize how true that was.
It's awesome to make money while you sleep.
Yeah,
That's
when you
super
wake
cool.
up and you
I
see
love-
that you made $200.
Yeah, no, I love waking up and seeing, oh, I'm already X amount of money into my day, and now to meet my goal, I only need X amount more.
I stayed up really late 2 nights ago. It was like 2 in the morning. I was like, oh, we already made $96. We had sold the dice. I'm like, why isn't that guy sleeping? I wanted to be asleep, but I had to have a dice out the following morning, and I spent all day here cutting stuff. So that actually would have been yesterday.
I
Time's
think
hard.
if you think about, he's buying a D20. He was probably playing.
Video games or something, and then just a lot of our stuff. So like we own the D&D desktop toy, like keyword for Etsy. So like that's super nice. Like if you search D&D or like D&D dice, like we have like that keyword, which is it's fun when you have a keyword and you're
That
one
you
of the
own.
top 10. You're like I'm a big deal now.
I remember that. I remember when we were in the top 10 of men's sandals on Amazon, and that was fun. That was cool to
super
be
fun.
there.
When you're 3 words or less and it's your product,
Yeah,
instead of when
it
you're
was fun.
like laser cut wood Easter tomb, and then you're like,
Buy Thackeray Factory.
and then you're like you're going through and you're still on the 10th page. And you're
Yeah.
like, what is going on? No, but yeah, so that was really fun. Okay, here's the thing. What brought y'all to?
Y'all.
I grew up in Texas. What brought you to this state?
School.
Like for me, it was
To
school, too.
Montana?
Yeah, Montana.
School. Bozeman, baby.
I don't even know what schools are in Montana.
I don't
so-
think there's a school in Bozeman.
Well, there's a University of Montana, and then there's Montana State.
Yeah.
One of them's in Missoula.
Montana State.
That must be where we are.
Yeah. I mean, you've told what your business is. If they search it, pretty sure they can find your.
By my house.
But don't you have this place listed?
Are we not sitting at my house right now? Is this not my kitchen?
This is your kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clank.
So realistic. No, but what brought you to the state?
Oh gosh.
School for me.
Yeah.
for
I mean,
you.
it was school for me too. I graduated, I took an internship, worked for that guy, married a local, and then just never left. And so,
Mine was a little different. No, I had a buddy that lived up here, and he said, "Hey, come check it out." So I did back in like 2002, 2003, give or take. And I was like, "Wow, I really like it." So then I did come up here, did some schooling, went back, was down in Phoenix for a while, married my wife, and then I said, "Hey, I'd really like to go back and try Idaho again." And she's
You
like,
mean
"Okay."
Montana?
Oh yeah, try Montana again.
yeah, the place known for growing.
It's gonna be easier if we just say where we're at. We're in Rexburg, Idaho.
Yeah. Now they'll find
We're in
me.
Sugar City, Idaho, where sweet things grow.
Beats.
Battlestar Galactica.
Bears.
Okay.
So you would be the Battlestar Galactica. I would be the Beats. You would be the bear.
Listen, that's quite humbling to be called a bear. I believe it is a homosexual term
Oh really?
to be called a bear. I believe so. I'm
Yeah.
not homosexual, but
No.
if you're looking,
You just got okay it with your wife first.
she might be into it. Who knows?
So you just
All right.
like,
So yeah, I just
I
decided.
wanted to give it a go.
So yeah, so I enjoyed it. We found it's a great place to raise a family. It was a great place to run a business. Great labor. We're in a college town here, and so it just ended up being a good place. My wife was like, "Yeah, I like it here a lot." So instead of moving back to the Southwest where we came from, we moved up here, and we've been doing this ever since. You know, for better or for worse, we freeze to death every winter. So yeah, that was really what it came down to. And
Yeah. I knew that you spent you have like family down in Arizona, right?
oh yeah, everybody's in Arizona. Yeah,
Yeah.
we made every grandparent mad when we were like, we're gonna make the grandkids and then leave you always. And so that was kind of hard for everybody, but you know, we wanted to give our kids a life that was different than just running around an urban jungle. I wanted them to learn how to work. I wanted them to go out and take care of livestock, and I wanted them to go out and dig in the dirt. And you know, we own a small Airbnb campground right now on Hip Camp that they're out there pulling weeds, and we're working on that together. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to be in Idaho.
Okay. Yeah, I that's just interesting to me because like you and me went to school here, but you chose.
I mean, I went to school as well.
Yeah.
Like, I came back to finish my
But-
degree up here, and then I finished my.
you made it out, and then you came back.
Yes, I definitely did.
Which is no, I tried to make it out, but the housing market crashed. So now I'm doing a podcast instead.
It's true. He wanted to move to Oklahoma so that he could say y'all and fit in.
Yeah.
But you have all your teeth.
They have.
That's
most
because he's
of the
been
teeth
here
down
for a
there.
while.
Oh,
Okay.
better
No, but
fluoride.
Better fluoride.
I wanted to
Well,
get
fluoride in Idaho's good
like
stuff.
10 acres and like a little farmhouse out in the middle, which is right now in southeast Idaho. Everyone from, I don't know, everywhere is trying to move to this place, and it's inflated the housing market to an insane degree. And now everyone's realizing,
California
yeah, they're
and Utah.
it's so
Utah.
weird. It's
A lot of
so
Utah.
weird that everyone's just like,
Silicon Slopes. They're like, we're out.
I'm
Slide our way
done
out.
with, especially now with
Civilization.
with civilization. That makes noise. You can hear that.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Children. And I'm the youngest one here. No, I don't
He is the youngest one here.
Okay, but going back to something I brought up a little bit, why do you think that you guys chose self-employment? I know you touched a little bit when you were talking about yours.
Did you want my whole origin story or no?
Oh, you can say as much as you want. We still have 5 more minutes of this podcast.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, we're at 39 minutes so far. I mean, we have like 3 minutes at the beginning. That was
Well, I think there's gonna be other stuff edited out too.
yeah, but not much. me walking around. We have 3 cameras, so I can.
Just pull from which one actually works.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess I can just. I mean, if you want the origin story, I would try and cut it. I would try and cut it
3-minute
short.
origin story.
3-minute
Here, in fact,
origin story.
I'll do this.
Oh, don't do that.
Yep.
It's never gonna work.
No. Well,
It's
now
not
I'm gonna
work.
Now we're gonna try
Well, just
it.
start it now while I setting up the timer. It gives you more time.
2008. I was. Oh, don't show me the numbers. My goodness.
That's the only way it works.
When I was. I was down in Arizona. I'd married my wife. We were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I rolled over one morning, and we had been married for not even a year. And I looked at her in the eyes, and I said, I want to start a company. I want to start importing shoes out of Brazil. And she's like, do we have the money? So I lied a little, and I said, yes. And so we did. So 200 pairs of shoes, $2,000 in a 2-bedroom apartment is where I started. And we did $4,800 that first year in sales. I started bringing in a shoe that was an active men's dress wear built specifically for the LDS or Mormon missionaries, something that they could walk all over the place, right? Just tear to pieces, but that would last a long time. And there was this supplier in Brazil that was making shoes for the Brazilian Postal Service, and they lasted a long time. So we started importing them, and then after a couple of years, he keeps turning down my mic. It's hilarious.
No, I'm adjusting it. I'm trying to make it so you don't peak, but
yeah,
you're still
I'm
good.
I'm a lively person.
And you have
I don't have
a
time to
deep
talk.
booming voice.
I don't have
Keep
time
on
to
going,
talk
keep on
about that. I'm
Minute
20.
Minute 20.
So,
Halfway there.
Halfway there. Living on a prayer. So yeah, that's where it all started. Was me building. I found this super niche industry that no one else was touching because all of the other men's stores were owned by like 800-year-old men that didn't know the internet was like going to be a thing. And this was in 2008. And so I built this little tiny website on GoDaddy Website Tonight, and with some PayPal buttons, and then started really selling it out of my car. I do shoe appointments and different things, and then we continued to grow from there, and doubled in sales, quadrupled in sales the next year, and grew more and more. Came up here, ran it out of an extra bedroom of my first house here. So we had the room with a kid in it, a room with our shoes. Grew that in 2000, graduated with my undergrad. Then in 2011, started a new brand. So we had our Mission shoe line, then we did our Vertigo foot care line to take care of our shower sandals, shoe care kits, insoles, those kind of things. Because we saw a need, right? We saw a niche that existed, and so we started releasing these shower sandals in that niche. And then, or niche, I don't know what you guys call it. I call it a niche. Because you got to get them niches. So if
Niche, please.
anyway, so then I bought a Thai company that ended up kind of growing, then imploding because of hackers. Anyway, that's a story for another day. And then started Kai back in 2015, which is when I brought Anthony on. But yeah, we specialize in sandals and shower sandals and shoes and footstuffs. To answer your question, back to like, why am I doing this? And
Pause.
Why, what?
That was 3 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, and the first 12
enough.
seconds was, that was close enough.
He totally did it. That's as you'll find as we go longer into this, that's a record. That was impressive
long-winded.
that he was able to do that.
I'm long-winded. But to answer your question, so it's sometimes I look at everything and I say I should just work somewhere where it's nice and there's a cushy paycheck or whatever that always comes in, and I don't have to fret about an employee that's got sleeping on the floor. But
Wasn't me.
it was not him.
It wasn't
No,
me.
It was.
I sleep out in the open.
The other day I was working here late, and that bathroom is actually really comfy.
Oh wow!
Like it's a few degrees warmer because you have a heater right in there, and
It runs off the thermostat from the showroom.
And so it gets nice and toasty. I could see someone
you go.
sleeping in there.
Well,
To be fair, it was 2:30 in the morning. So
we did see someone sleeping in there at 10 a.m. in the morning.
that's a little weird to me.
But I like it because it's exciting. There's always something new. Kind of the sky's the limit. I mean, you make or break what you have going on. So
Absolutely.
if it's if you screw up, you're screwing up your
fault.
own destiny. And if someone eats a bat in China, then that affects your destiny as well. But
Allegedly.
an alleged bat in China. I don't know. Maybe it was a bear. Maybe all the bears in China.
They do have a bear problem.
So, nope, not telling that joke. Okay. So, but it's I don't have someone telling me when to be in. I mean, I joke that you drop the 9 to 5 so you can work the 24/7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yesterday was literally from 10 to 2, not 2 p.m. to a.m.
Oh yeah, no, for
But
sure.
but to be fair, like I'll take an hour or two off to like play with my girls, like in the middle of the day. But like I will be working on
His
and off.
daughters.
Yes, I have 2 kids.
Yeah,
so.
see, he has daughters. Not play with the girls. Like he just takes a break and goes hits
That's
up.
how you.
Hits up the club.
That's how you're on pace for 6 figures.
Anyways, so but yeah, so like, it's great, but I end up, like I said, working more and less. It's really weird.
But you work more, but you can enjoy it. You can take some time when you want to take the time. You can, vacations are more postponements than they really are vacations.
Yeah.
But I remember there was one time I was answering customer emails on a balcony in Mexico overlooking the ocean, and realized that was amazing. Now, not to sound hipster, but that was in 2009, 2010, before it was like, oh, we're gonna work remote and it's gonna be so great. We're gonna
Before it was
travel.
the thing.
Yeah, it was before it was cool. So maybe you heard about like Paramore before I did. Doesn't matter because I used to work remote before you did. But yeah, that's what I really enjoyed, is that I could pick up my laptop and I could be sitting. I remember I was in Hanover, Germany once, and I'm sitting on the floor because the time differences. So it was like 1 o'clock in the morning in Germany, and I was answering all my emails, but I was in Germany. I was able to be seeing something I had never seen before. And I didn't have to go to my boss and have him say, well, how much PTO do you have? It's like, no, I went. It's like, remember that one time that I decided to just jump in the car and drive with my son to Seattle to go see a yo-yo championship, random. But we're like, let's go. And I just left on a Friday afternoon. I didn't have to ask any permission. I just said, Anthony, can you? In fact, Anthony was the one that pushed me out. He's like,
Oh, I told
get
you to
out.
go. Yeah.
You'll regret it if you don't.
We
And the next month, COVID happened.
2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, I just took my wife to Vegas just so that we could have a week off and decompress, because Christmas was crazy for us.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Like, I sold like a couple grand worth of these things, and we just launched them in November, and we're already.
And those are a time-intensive product. That's
They
not
are,
just
they
like you pick it up and pack it up. It's this product is
You print
takes a
them.
lot.
I do 3D printing also. So you print them, you glue them together, you sand them, you have to coat them so that you can get rid of all the layer lines. Then you have to paint them, and then you have to ink the dye. And anyways, it's a whole thing. It takes about. It's funny because it takes 2 days to do one, but then you can also do like 8 in the same amount of time. But so we're actually out of time for this one. So for more interesting entrepreneur craziness, follow, subscribe, leave a comment.
Look, in all fairness, this is like the fresh. Like we've done this like this is the first time.
This is the first one.
This is the virgin edition. And if you don't know what that means,
Ask your mom.
Ask your mom.
ask your mom.
If you don't have a mom,
Ask your dad.
ask your dad. If you don't have a dad,
You're a miracle of modern science. Or
go ask your other mom.
your caretaker.
Uncle.
guardian.
Just don't ask your uncle.
Your
They-
parents
They'll
have.
never give you.
Definitely don't ask your uncle.
Wikipedia.
Anyways, but yeah.
But so yeah, hopefully we'll keep going, and there's lots of stuff to learn and talk about. And So
Yeah.
that's it. All right, that's all.
Peace
I'm
out.
out of here.
Bye.